What's poppin', everybody? It is Renee and I'm back with another video. So today we're talking about how to pass the ASVAB. How to pass the ASVAB, what you need to prepare for the ASVAB, and methods when studying for the ASVAB. Because everybody's scared to take the ASVAB. It's really not that bad, but nah, I take that bad. It is a little difficult. So when trying to prepare to study for the ASVAB, the first thing you need to do is get a book. One book to be exact. The ASVAB For Dummies. I'm trying to tell y'all, this book right here is a game changer. I first took my ASVAB when I was in high school. That was probably like my junior, senior year. Not really sure. That was a while ago. It's like 4 years ago. So I had a different book. It wasn't this book. It was blue and white. It was like ASVAB. It was like ASVAB study or ASVAB practice 2000 whatever. I feel like it was like a 2012, 2014 or 2013, 2014, something like that. And it was difficult to read. Like I felt like I was reading this complex textbook for like anatomy or chemistry or whatever, something difficult like that, and I couldn't study for it. So when I took my ASVAB in high school, I failed it. I made like a 30 if I'm not wrong, something like that, 30, 32. It was real low. But when I use this book, y'all, it really helps. Like, and I promise y'all, a lot of stuff in here you're gonna need, especially when it comes to the math and figuring out like the definitions or synonyms of words. This book really is the gold. It also has a lot of science stuff in here. My ASVAB, the science questions that I got weren't that difficult, which probably means that I was getting them wrong. Keep in mind of that. So the computerized version, the way it works is if you get it right, the question gets harder. If you get it wrong, the question is easier. So be very mindful of that. If you start getting hella easy questions, you're probably getting some stuff wrong. So you need to slow down, take your time. Don't be too pressed about the time frame that it gives you, because each subcategory is timed. So you might have 15 or 10 minutes to do 10 to 25 questions, roughly. That's kind of how it works. If you don't finish all those 20 questions, that's okay. But if you can answer 10 of them and answer those 10 perfectly, it's not gonna deduct you for the ones that you didn't answer, if that makes sense. So yeah, definitely take your time. So the ASVAB For Dummies book is really good. As you can tell, I've got like index cards in here on stuff that I know that I needed to study. And what helped me when it came to like the word comprehension part, what I did was that part also, and the mechanics. This is actually mechanics right here. I literally wrote down definitions, highlighted them, wrote what it meant, all that good stuff. I definitely did that for the engineering part because I knew I was probably gonna fail it. And I hear a lot of people say like, oh, well, you don't really have to study engineering if you know you don't want to have an engineering job. That is true, but at the same time it's not, because for instance, your ASVAB is going to give you the average of all of your categories put together. So say in your general you have a 90, in your math or whatever you have a 95, but then when it gets to your engineering you have like a 20, a 30. That means your overall score went from a 90 and it dropped all the way down to, what is that, a 40? My math is probably off. Either a 40 or 50, somewhere in between there. So you just messed yourself up. So don't do that to yourself. Definitely study what you know that you have no idea about. If you're a girl like me, you probably know nothing about engineering and mechanics. Study the engineering mechanics portion on the ASVAB, I promise you. Which is crazy because the engineering part or whatever, when I got my ASVAB scores back, that was actually like my top second highest. General was my highest score. And then the engineering part was like my second highest score, which was crazy. And I was just like, okay, Nay. I was like, all right. You did something. You really did something with yourself, okay? But yeah, so the second way you want to study, after you get the book, I honestly think the book is the easiest way to study, because a lot of the stuff that was in there was on my ASVAB, or it was similar to what was on my ASVAB. So I was kind of prepared. I wasn't like nervous about what kind of questions I was going to get. The second way to study is YouTube. YouTube is probably like the second easiest way to study, because there's a YouTube channel. I'm going to try to put it right here, or I'm going to put it in the description box. There's a YouTube channel that is designated for ASVAB practice tests. What it does is you can pick which category, if you want to do like math, or like the math, I don't know if it's like math comprehension or like actual word problems, whatever. And then there's like regular like arithmetic, like just plain simple algebra. So you can click categories like that. It has it for the reading, it has it for the engineering, it has it for the science portion, it has it for every single portion for the ASVAB. The videos are probably like an hour to probably like 2 hours long. What it's gonna do is it's gonna say like, number one, it's gonna ask you the question, it'll give you like 5 seconds to answer, and then the next slide that it shows is going to be the same question with the answer and why that's the answer for every single question. When, like, especially if you're doing that like on your computer or your laptop, you can pause it. It's YouTube. You can pause it, go back to it, go in your history, find the video again, see where you left off at. Like, that's a great way to study. And when I looked at those, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know, so that really helped too, especially when it came to the math problems. If you're not good at math, definitely look at the YouTube channel and look at those math problems, because it will give you a it'll explain in detail why this is this, how you got to this number, what you need to do to get to that number, and all that, y equals mx plus b, whatever, like, yeah, all that jazz. So definitely look at YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's other channels out there that have information on like ASVAB practice testing and things like that, but that was the one that I found the most efficient. And also with that, the math problems were very similar. They weren't the same exact problems, but I do remember seeing very similar math problems on my actual ASVAB. The third way that you're gonna want to study is using the internet. You can literally Google ASVAB practice tests, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of websites will come up. But I will say, if you're going to like Google ASVAB practice test and you're just going to be clicking on these websites trying to find something, you need to have some type of like, like spamware or like virus protection on your computer. Only because I noticed when I was doing that myself, it was making my computer slow. And then I had to go through my computer and like basically clear my computer out. Basically, like, it was really annoying, because like these websites are like downloading stuff on your computer, and they're basically like side websites. They're not like legit websites. They're just, yeah, all that good stuff. So I say do it on your phone, because your phone, it'll be a whole lot easier on your phone if you do it instead of your computer. But yeah, definitely look at websites. You really can find ASVAB practice tests anywhere. If you can't find any good ones, the book's not working for you, YouTube's not working for you, the internet's not working for you, ask your recruiter. Your recruiter should have some type of knowledge in some way, shape, or form on how you should be able to study or and find practice tests for the ASVAB. If your recruiter doesn't, I'm gonna need you to find a new recruiter. Boom. So another thing is, not really a study tip, just a tip in general on what you need to do to prepare for the ASVAB. Do not wait till the last minute. Do not procrastinate. If you know you're going to take the ASVAB at some point in time, study for it ahead of time. Don't be like me. Because I made a 68 on my ASVAB when I really could have made like an 80 or a 90. The reason why is I had my ASVAB book from since the summertime, probably since maybe like April. That college wise, that's summer to me. So I had my ASVAB book since then. I did study throughout the summer. The only thing I was doing during the summer was working. That was really it. So I was studying during the summertime. If you watched my last video, you know I recently graduated college. So yeah, but that last semester of college was hell. Like, it was awful. I had no time to myself. I had no time to do anything. I had stuff to do, guys. I had a lot of stuff to do. I had no time to study. So then when I graduated, my recruiter hit me up maybe like a week or two after I graduated and was like, "Hey, Bronny, you ready to take the ASVAB?" Me? You want me to take the ASVAB right now? He was like, he was like, you don't have to take it right now. He's like, but you should take it soon or whatever, blah, blah. He wasn't rushing me to take it, but, you know, your recruiter doesn't want to beat around the bush with you. Like, they don't want you to say, oh, yeah, I want to go in the military and I want to do this and I want to do that. But then, like, you're BSing with them and they, you know, you wasted their time. So he was like, you know, let's try to get you in there soon. So I basically had a month to study for the ASVAB, but mind you, I had Christmas, I had New Year's, and then as soon as I came back where I'm located now, because I live like 3 hours away, so when I came back to where I was living, it was holiday hours at work. So I was working all the time, and it was like I got to study for like maybe an hour, if that, but like at that time I was going through all subjects and it wasn't retaining like how I was retaining during the summer, because during the summer I was actually taking my time and working my way through the ASVAB book and studying and then like going online and doing all this other stuff. But yeah, so definitely don't procrastinate, because if honestly I should have took the ASVAB before my semester started, my last semester of school started, but you know, your girl wasn't thinking, so it is what it is, it's whatever. I'm cool with a 68 because, you know, 68, that gets jobs. It's better than the 40s and the 30s that people barely be passing with, so, you know, a 68, it can get me some good jobs. I don't really want anything fancy. I kind of already know what I want to do, and it gets in that 68, like, it's in that 68 range, so, you know, not really tripping. So, when you go to take the ASVAB, if your ASVAB is set up how my ASVAB is, well, how my ASVAB like process was, you're probably gonna have to like drive like out the way to like go take the ASVAB at whatever like center or whatever. Mine was at like a testing center, maybe like 45 minutes away from where I live, which is fine. I didn't really care. Like, I was like, whatever, I'll drive. So with that, don't eat a full meal. Like, do not go in there like, don't eat a full meal, don't eat a full burger with the fries, with the drink, and then the nuggets on the side. I mean, if you get a 4 for $4 and you can handle yourself, then do that, sis. But don't go get no Big Mac, large, eat all the fries, and then drink all the soda at the end, because you're gonna have the itis. You're gonna have the itis, and I lie you not, people was in my ASVAB falling asleep because they ate a full meal before they came. And my ASVAB was kind of late too. Like, mine was at like, I think they told me, yeah, I had to be there at 4 o'clock. So I had to be at my ASVAB destination, whatever, at 4 o'clock. And then I was early. I was maybe like 15 minutes early, only because they always say get there early, because if it's a lot of people signing up for that day, then, and you're like late or you're on time, then you have to wait until someone gets up and they're finished with the ASVAB before you can go take your ASVAB. But thankfully it wasn't that many people. I think like the computer lab they had us in, ours like ended up getting full at the end, but I don't think anybody was waiting. There might have been like 1 or 2 extra seats possibly, I'm not really sure. But yeah, so like, don't eat a full meal before you go, because you gonna be sleep, like you gonna be sleep, like, and you're not gonna be able to focus. But yeah, definitely be on time, be early. If you know you live in that area that's like, it's like a big city area, be 30 minutes early, just to be on the safe side, because you never know. You're really gonna be pissed if you gotta sit there and wait for 3 hours until someone gets up. That's dead. But yeah, also you want to just make sure you focus Make sure, you know, your mind is clear before you get in there or whatever, take your test. It's just like another test. It reminds me of, you know, that test we had to take back in like elementary through high school at the end of like every school year. And it was for like a couple days. The pass test, the pack test, whatever it's called. Yeah, that's kind of how it is, but it's on the computer instead of like in a booklet, and there's no writing portion. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. That's how it's kind of set up. It's not difficult, but if your education level is lower, like South Carolina has a trash education level. Let's be 100% honest. South Carolina's education level is trash, like trash. So I wasn't expecting, I mean, I'm in college, but the last time I took math was like my freshman year of college. So that was 3.5, almost 4 years ago. I don't remember that stuff. But like, and especially science. I took geology. If you don't know what geology is, look it up. But it's real easy, like real, that's an easy A class. South Carolina's education level is awful. So like if you know your education level not that great, study. Do not let anybody pressure you. Like, don't let your recruiter pressure you into taking an ASVAB earlier when you know you're not ready either. Take it on your own time, to be honest. Because y'all, I've been hearing some stuff about these recruiters out here. They just don't be caring. They just trying to get their quota. But yeah, so that's really all that I have for the ASVAB. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, go ahead and leave them down in the description bar. If you have any other ways of studying from, like if you found another like ASVAB book that works really good, if it's not that ASVAB for Dummies book, if you have any websites, like especially like actual direct links to websites, or any other YouTube channels, definitely leave those in the description box to help other people out, because you know it's 2K19. We not out here trying to struggle. We not out here trying to struggle no more. We trying to help each other out. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video.